Hello and welcome to the Insecure Chef. I'm here with Regina again. As always, it's a cool, crisp fall Sunday. Anyway, quick story. About 5 years ago, I got very ill. I was in the hospital for a while. And during the recovery period, there is a restaurant called Obo Pan that you may be familiar with. It serves the sandwiches and different soups and such. Anyway, it had a soup that I fell in love with during my recovery. And it was their corn and green chili bisque. And I loved it. I had it every day as I was recovering, and I decided to duplicate it here. I did find a recipe, supposedly directly from that company, so this is supposed to be the authentic recipe. So we're going to give it a shot right now. All right, all the ingredients are on the channel, of course, and there are a number of them. Don't let them frighten you. It may look like, oh, I don't want to add all these ingredients. It is a delicious soup. I tell you, it's worthwhile a start. Okay, I'm going to be cooking this in my foodie only. I'm just going to be using Sautéing. You can cook it in any pan you want on the stove or whatever. We're going to start out right now. I've got a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter that I've melted down. I'm running at about medium high heat. So we're going to get started by sautéing onions, jalapeno peppers, and red bell pepper. So let me get that started. Can you see that bit? All right. Can you see?
I'm trying to get the best.
Well, don't go too crazy. Move around too much, nobody will see anything. All right, so we're just going to saute this for a couple of minutes. Not too long, maybe 2 minutes or so. If you are using a foodie, I'm working on saute level 3. But otherwise, if you're working on your pot, on your stove, you're talking about medium heat. You don't want to burn the oil. Remember, you're working with olive oil and butter here, so you don't want to overdo it. So let that just saute a minute. Sure smells good. And we're going to follow this up shortly with some garlic and some tomato paste. And again, I won't repeat the quantities here. They'll be on the channel. So my dog is having a couple of problems lately, so if you hear him barking, I rest my case. There's not much I can do. All right, that's been sauteing for a couple of minutes. I'm now going to follow it up with garlic. This is minced garlic. I'm going to get a taller wife. All right, and I'm going to be going with tomato paste, like so. I'll get that mixed in there just a little bit. So I'm just going to stir that in there, like that. And now I'm going to be adding the tomatillo. Actually, it's a fruit. If you're not familiar with tomatillo, it looks like a, hold on a second, I'll show you quick. Yeah, you'll see it. It looks like this. Okay? And you see it has a skin covering on it. You peel it off like an onion, if you will. When you get there, you'll have a green fruit. It'll look like a green tomato. It'll be sticky. Make sure you wash that stickiness off thoroughly in cold water. Once you've got the covering off and you take the sticky off, you're ready to go. You're going to handle it just like any other kind of tomato or pepper. Okay? So what's going to go in right now is the tomatillo. They also make it in canned form if you don't want to deal with the fruit itself directly. Sometimes it's a little tricky to find, but you got to mix that in there. Okay. Good. All right. Yeah, so we're just going to let this stir around a little bit. All right, we're going to follow this up now with the tomatoes. These are diced tomatoes. I'm using fire roasted diced tomatoes. You can use any kind of diced tomatoes you like. We'll give that a stir. All right, and to that I'm going to be adding a little sugar. And then we're going to saute this for about 3 minutes. All right, now I've got some kernel corn here. This is drained kernel corn. I'm going to be putting in about 3/4 of the total amount that's in the recipe. The starters here.
Eli, it's okay, buddy.
Okay, so as I said, I only put in 3/4 of the total amount that you'll see because we're going to finish this back off with the remainder of the corn at the back of the recipe. So we're just going to let that saute a minute or two. And we're going to follow this up with vegetable stock. If you haven't got vegetable stock, you could use chicken stock, but you really want that strong vegetable background to it. So I'm going to be adding the vegetable stock now. There we go. Give that a little stir. And we're going to follow that up with some cilantro. Again, I'm comfortable with the measurements. And then I'm going to be adding my diced green chilies. These are the sweet ones. Give that a stir. And now we're going to let this simmer on medium heat for about 30 minutes and we'll be back. Yeah, okay. As I mentioned, I'm going to saute this, simmer this for 30 minutes. I'm dipping in all our spices now. Okay, I mix them all together at one time since they all go in at one time. And we give that a nice stir. And we'll let that continue, as I said, for about 30 minutes. Let it simmer just down just a little bit because I don't want to do this when it's red hot like this. You're not filming, are you? You're filming. Okay, I'll just let this simmer down just a little bit. I'm now going to put an immersion blender in here, and I'm going to puree this. It will take a few minutes to get this nice and pureed.
Okay.
Okay, I pureed it down now. This is a matter of personal taste on how far you want to puree down the corn. Now, the next step usually would be to add the remainder of the corn. Now, I've looked at this, and I kind of like the way it already is, so I'm not going to put the remainder of the corn in. That's really up to you. All right, so I'm going to skip that step. Do what you want in your regard. With that now, I'm going to put in the light cream. Okay, put the light cream in. Give it a little stir. Like so. Yeah, that looks very familiar.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a squeeze of half a lime. Just for a little citrus there. There we go. And that should pretty much do it. All right. Now I would love to taste it. It's probably a little too hot. Okay. Just going to take a scoop out of here, put it in there. That consistency is very nice. If for some reason you wanted it thinner, just add a little bit more of the vegetable broth at the very end. But this is how it was when I first ate it. All right, let's see how hot this thing is and if I can get it down.
Good luck. Oh, is it good?
Oh, I remember that flavor. Yeah, it is really a unique soup. I think it's delicious. As hot as it is.
Okay.
Anyway, this is the Au Bon Pain recipe. According to those folks, it's the corn in green chili bisque. So, my dog is having a fit. We're going to go take care of him. From the Insecure Chef, thank you very much for watching us. God bless. Don't forget to vote. Take care.
Have a good night.